I'm Hal from GetYourRockOut, and I'm here with Fish. Hi.
Hello, Hal. How are you doing? All right.
I'm very good, thanks. What about you?
Oh, doing great. Caravan sign, North Wales. What more could you ask for in March?
We're here at the HRH Prog Festival, and Fish, you're the headliner. So how does it feel to be headlining this festival?
I don't really look on us as being headliners. I don't feel any pressure about headlining or anything. I just look at us being another band on the bill. It's like, it's interesting. It's, like I said, I mean, this is the second kind of festival that we've done as an indoor festival. We did the Planet Rock Festival, and now we've got this one. So it's interesting. I don't like being in caravans on site before gigs. That's one thing I don't like.
Yeah.
And that's been kind of tough to deal with. But it's good. It's an honour. I mean, we've got Feast of Consequences, the new album out, and it's. A lot of people are raising eyebrows and going like, wow. And that's a good thing. At 55 years old, I think. Yeah. Very good thing. Very good. Yes.
So, because you're playing a festival and because not everyone here is paid specifically to see you, does that mean you make alterations to the set list? So, maybe play some of the old Marillion stuff that people are more likely to be familiar with?
No, the set list kind of stays where it is. I mean, it's the 2013 set list, which is in the process of changing because we're just in the middle of changing over a member, and that Foss Patterson, who's been my keyboard player for quite a few years and did the Fishheads Club acoustic tour with me and wrote a lot of tracks on the album, he's been replaced, and this is his last kind of UK gig. The reason that he's moving on is basically other work issues and other commitments and family stuff and it's one of the things about being as a solo kind of singer that works with session guys. People will move in and move out. So this is going to be one of the last shows of the 2013 set list, which involves a few Marillion tracks and things, but the new stuff, the 2014 set list, because we're on tour in May in the UK, that's got a completely different set list. Yeah. Apart from the Feast of Consequences material, a lot of it will be staying and being expanded upon. Yeah.
And just as a general, do you feel an obligation to play the old Marillion stuff, or are you still proud of that stuff and you still want to bring it to people live?
I'm still very proud of this stuff, but the last thing I want to do is have a set list that's kind of anchored in the past. It's nice to be able to acknowledge that material, and but at the end of the day, you're very aware that when people are buying tickets to come and see gigs, they're wanting entertainment. What they don't want to come along and have an advert for the new album. They want to hear. Yeah. They want a 2-hour kind of journey that's going to take them through bits and pieces. So you balance it. I always say it's a bit like when you write songs for an album. When you put an album together, you're designing a roller coaster ride. You want to make people, wow. You want to trip them up and take them out, and like I said, even with the Highwood Suite, if we were to have done the Highwood Suite last year, it's 25 minutes of material, brand new material that nobody knew. And I think that's asking a bit much of people. So you're always aware that, you've got to kind of pay a bit of homage to the past and at the same time not stay there for too long. And the 2014 set list, which, like I said, with the UK tour in May, is different. It's a lot of tracks I've not played for a very long time, but not Marillion material. Yeah. There's a couple of Marillion pieces in there, but they're there because they're relevant to the set list. They're not there just as kind of. I've not played Kaylee for God knows. Everybody goes like, "Oh, you must be sick of playing Kaylee." I've never played it for such a long time. We used to do it on the Fishheads acoustic set. We used to say like, okay, well, what songs do you want to hear? Because we used to do this whole thing. We used to say, do you want a rock song or do you want a pop song? And the hands used to come. It was always a rock song. Yeah. Nobody wanted to hear Kaylee.
Really?
Yeah, it's just me. Nice. Not that I hate the song, I love the song, but
you've heard it quite a lot over the years, I can imagine. Yeah.
Yes. And I still can't remember the words.
And what do you feel about doing new interpretations of your old stuff? Like on Yang, the Greatest Hits album, you re-recorded a lot of old Marillion and a lot of your old solo stuff, but you changed it a lot. So do you feel that's a good thing to do? Do you enjoy doing that?
What, re-recording stuff?
Yeah, and changing it a bit.
I think when you've got session musicians coming in, like different guitarists, the last thing I do is turn around to people and say, well, you've got to play it like, so-and-so did. I don't do that. It's, it's a bit insulting to a guitarist to have him come in and turn around and say, okay, well, you've got to play it exactly like this other guy played it, you know. And you allow a certain amount of interpretation. I mean, some of the songs, some of them, you know, the Middle and the Early stuff, you know, it's kind of written as is. But I mean, sounds-wise and things like that, it's you know, it's allowable, you know. And this, I think the Fishhead's acoustic tour opens things up. I think because we were deconstructing all the songs and finding them in an acoustic version, it was that was interesting. You know?
Yeah. So, if someone said, "What one song would you play as an introduction that summed up your music?" If you wanted someone to hear one song that you'd written, what?
I've got no idea. I mean, I think off the new album. I mean, I don't know. I've got no idea. I think because I don't write tracks as such. I mean, I deploy myself over albums.
Yeah.
And I'm very kind of old-fashioned in that way. I mean, I'm not. You know, I still don't download, and I don't subscribe to the, you know, just downloading tracks and listening to tracks of bands. I mean, you know, that's singles. I mean, if I'm going to say listen to an album, listen to Face the Consequences. You know?
Yeah. Okay, and talking of Face the Consequences, how proud do you feel of the success of the album? Because considering it's only available at your gigs and from the website, so as people have to specifically go and seek it out, do you feel specifically proud that it's done so well and has been received so well?
Yeah, I mean, it's only available on the fishheadsclub.com site, and it's only available at the gigs because I don't see the need to put it up on through individual record shops who basically just go up on Amazon and compete with me. You can buy it off Amazon. You know, it's going to be on iTunes as of April. There's a single, Blind to the Beautiful, that's coming out on April the 28th. And, you know, it works. You know, you say you've got to seek out, you've got to seek any album out. I think it's making people aware that the album exists. And once you've made it aware it exists, and as long as you provide the pointers, then people will find it. And it's, you know, and I think people are more used to like getting things delivered to the post now. You know, they're used to buying on Amazon. I mean, I buy a lot of stuff on Amazon. I mean, I'm a big DVD. I love DVDs. I love movies. Yeah. And I'm always going up and like I'm so used to like the Amazon packages come through the DVDs, and that's the way you do it. I very rarely go out. I mean, I went out and bought an album today at one of the independent record stores at the festival site. Yeah. And I bought a Man album that just caught my eye, and it was great. But I mean, if I want to find a record store, I've got to travel into Edinburgh. You know, and that's the problem nowadays. You know, we're out with, you know, this isn't your small village store or small town store. We don't exist anymore. No. You know, the independent record store day and all the rest of it. It's just become, for me, a promotional exercise for major record companies because all they're doing is using it as an excuse to sell shitloads of vinyl to a bunch of stores where if they can't sell on the door on the day, sell it on eBay or sell it on Amazon. You know, and it's you know, adjust. And that's what I'm doing. I mean, I've had people saying, well, why don't we see you do a normal distribution system? It's like, why should I? I don't need to do it. Why should I sell an album to somebody for £5, right, that I can sell on my site for 10, right? Because I'm the one that's paying for the promotion. You know, I mean, I've got 2 ads coming in Classic Rock and Prog magazine in April. You know, they're costing nearly £5,000. Yeah. You know, for 2 double-page ads. The record stores don't buy these. I buy them, right? So the money, the profit I make from the albums goes into helping promote the album. The independent record stores do not promote my album. No. You know, iTunes, you can pay them and they will do it and stuff like that. I mean, it's a different area, it's a different industry now. You know?
Yeah. And when I saw you last year in Homefirth, I noticed that you reacted badly to people pointing cameras at you throughout the show.
Only flashes. I don't like flashes because it disturbs me. Yeah. Because I'm an old man now, and if I get a flash, because I don't know where I am, who I am, what I'm doing, or where blah, blah.
Yeah, so
they give warnings in Channel 4 News and BBC News now. This contains flash photography. No, they don't do that on stage, you know?
Yeah.
Batteries. So I don't like flashes. They're intrusive. If you're using a flash at a stage, you know, people can take photographs. I mean, learn how to use the fucking camera, you know? Learn the settings on the fucking camera. Learn what ISO means. Don't stand there 20 feet away from me and take a flash photograph that's going to take 5 heads in front of you. You're not even going to see the singer that's on the bloody stage, for God's sake. And it's irritating. Yeah.
So do you object to, say, the filming of gigs rather than people watching the gigs? Or
I hate seeing people standing there for huge sections of gigs with a camera. If I see somebody with a camera, whether it's a professional camera in a gig, why are you doing that? You know, a gig is an experience. A live gig is an experience that happens between the stage, the artist on the stage, and the audience. And there's a magic, there's a communion that happens there. Why the fuck are you putting a camera between them? So you can capture the magical moment, which you're never going to capture because you will never capture what is actually happening in that venue.
Also, so as a final question, a few months ago you presented the Classic Rock Awards. So how did you feel? Well, one, to be asked to do that, and also did you get starstruck at that event? Because there were people like Alex Lifeson and Tony Iommi there, who are big names in the business.
I was very honoured. I felt very privileged. I was very humbled to be asked. It scared the shit out of me because it was well in my comfort zone. I think because of the stereotypical kind of, there's a cartoon fish as well as like a real fish. You know what I mean? Cartoon fish is this kind of like the loud drunken Scotsman vibe. You know, that's like, you know, very garrulous and stuff, which is not necessarily me. It's a part of me, but it's like it's not necessarily me. And I think, you know, to be asked to do it and take on something that was had a lot of high responsibility to it. You know, I mean, there was no cue cards, there was no walk cue. You know, it was like you had to deal with it right. It was cool. Somebody went, yeah, and they gave me it, and I dealt with it, and I loved it. It was good. And I mean, a lot of the guys have been starstruck. I mean, you know, some of the guys, you know, it was great to meet them. I'd never met Ozzy before, you know, which was a bit like meeting a cartoon character. But I mean, Alex Lifeson, you know, and people like that I'd met. I mean, it was great to shake hands with a couple of people I'd never met before that I was a great admirer. And it was, you know, as I said on the night, it was like, I didn't really start singing until I was 20, 21 years old. So, you know, I was a fan. I mean, I can remember hanging about the dressing room door at the Glasgow Apollo waiting on Yes to come out in 1979, you know?
Yeah.
And getting pissed off because they came out and blanked us all and went straight in the limo and fucked off. And we stood in the pouring rain for 45 minutes with an autograph. I remember that, you know? Which I think maybe that's one of the reasons why I think my feet are a little bit more on the ground than they could be maybe if I was somebody else, if you know what I mean? Yeah. It's just music. You know, I love singing, I love playing the stage, but it's just music. It doesn't make me any more special than anybody else and stuff. And it's nice to introduce a young man to DQ. You know what I mean? It don't mean fuck all, it don't mean nothing. It's just music. I hate rock stars, I fucking hate them. I feel very uncomfortable around people that start acting big time and demanding and stuff. You know? It's like, you know, I believe that my politics is socialist. You know, I believe that, you know, there's a lot more could be done to redress balances and shit like that. It's, you know, so.
Okay.
But you know, as I said, you know, it's just music, and it's nice to be able to touch people, and it's great. I mean, you know, to be on a stage and to make people happy. You know, we go back to the thing with sales. You know, when you play script and you see that little people like, wow, it's a nice feeling. Yeah. But it's the same as when you face the consequences and you do High Wood or whatever, and you introduce High Wood and you're talking about World War One, and you see somebody crying in the audience because they remember their grandfather. Yeah. Then that's great as well, because you're touching people, and that's what music should be about. It's not about the money, it's not about the commercial aspects of it, it's about the feeling, it's about the passion, it's about the soul. And when the soul and the passion goes from my life as a musician, I am out the door.
That seems like an excellent note to end it on, so cool. Thanks very much.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Well done, Al.